Hi, good morning, patients and visionaries. My name is Johan van Zyl. If you haven't been on my YouTube channel before, welcome here. And today we will be making a short little video about some eye exercises and just giving you some background on my current range of eye exercise videos, which I have on my YouTube channel. Now, why am I doing this? Because simply, I see a lot of patients in my practice that can't even converge. And you'll see that I've done 2 or 3 videos already on convergence insufficiency. Now, on my YouTube channel, I have 5, 6 exercises, and I'm just going to have a quick talk about why these exercises exist. How did I actually get to do them, and why do they work in that manner? Now, firstly, when you actually look at your eyes, you have 6 eye muscles in each eye. So you have 12 eye muscles that need to point all the time in the direct position so that these 2 images, one from each eye, can actually become one. But the reason why I did these eye exercises is that they are simple home exercises that work all the eye muscles, and it also works the internal eye muscle, because this is something that it seems to me very few people realize, is that you have this intraocular muscle there, the muscle that focuses the light. And can you believe that this intraocular muscle, the one that focuses the light, there's a connection between that one and the muscle that turns the eye in. So your mind has learned over years that if it needs to focus, it also needs to activate these muscles which points the eyes in, because there's a relationship between the focusing system and convergence. And this is often where the problem actually starts. There's an imbalance in that system. Most common is the fact that people and patients, and sometimes I think even colleagues, do not always understand the importance of the intraocular muscle and how it affects the extraocular muscles. The two needs to be balanced for you to have comfortable, clear binocular vision. So let's just quickly go through my 5 exercises on my YouTube channel. So the first one is called the clock exercise. And why are we doing the clock exercise? Now, an old-fashioned clock, you have 12 o'clock up there, 3 o'clock down here. If I'm looking towards my side, the clock, it's on the right. 6 o'clock is down there and 9 o'clock is there. So this exercise is great for people that has a limited time, and we assume that your convergence is doing reasonably well. And we also assume that you are looking enough left and right and up and down and all around you like this, because this is what most of us doing. But when did you last, can ask yourself this question, when did you actually look up? And when last did you look towards the edge like this, or towards that edge like that? So this exercise, the clock exercise, we want you to keep looking at your pen, or in my case, my wolf ball it's called, and don't move your head and go towards 9 o'clock and follow the target there. Keep it there for a second and slowly come back. Do not be in a rush. And that's 9 o'clock sorted. And then you head off towards 10 o'clock, the direction of 10 o'clock, and you come back. Then you head off towards 11 o'clock and you come back, 12 o'clock and you come back to the midpoint again, and you do 1, 2, 3 o'clock. So in this exercise, we are targeting the muscles which elevate the eyes and pull the eyes out, so that we can have a balance between you looking close and left and right the whole day. We want to do the balance. So as I said, we assume, and this is a very simple exercise, you can do it 1 or 2 minutes a day, just for twice a day, 1 or 2 minutes. And always be aware that eye exercises is as good as doing brain training. So watch out for trying to do 20 minutes of this. Rather, when you start doing this exercise, don't go out too much. Just go out so that you can actually feel it's pulling, and then come back. And then go 10 o'clock, as I said, go 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. And then as the muscle becomes more supple and stronger, then go a little bit wider. Enlarge this area on the sides, keep it for a little bit longer so that you can actually like stretch this left eyeball muscle as much as possible. And this exercise is especially very, very important for people that tends to have a crossed eye, an esodeviation, an esophoria, or an esotropia. You want to be doing this exercise every single day. Now, the next exercise we call the cross. Now, the cross exercise is divided into 3 sections. The first section is basically called the half cross. So again, a cross is something like that. Now, what is the half cross? The half cross is just going left and right. Again, just going left and right. Again, this is an ideal exercise for somebody whose eyes are, again, tending towards being like squinty like this. An esophoria or an esotropia, you just want to do the half cross. Then we are doing the full cross, up, down, left, and right. Now, this is one of the standard exercises which is given if you have a vestibular problem. So it's also a gaze stability test. The two goes hand in hand. And this is one of the exercises where they want you to keep your head still and track towards the left and the right and up and down. And this exercise we do in our practice for patients that's got certain types of vertigo, who have balance issues, who's unstable on their feet. But you want to do not just the half cross and the cross when you have a vestibular problem. You want to do the double cross. And why is that critically important? Because, can you believe it? There's no single eyeball muscle that elevates the eyes and takes the eyes down. So the moment you do vestibular rehabilitation, you need to include this specific eye exercise as well. So it is the last part of the double cross. So it's the half cross, the cross, and you want to actually put your cross on the leg side. And in this exercise, you are targeting each individual muscle that goes up and down, because there's no single muscle that elevates the eyes and lets the eyes look down. They work in pairs. So this specific direction, actually, you are targeting one single muscle, and this is the best exercise if you have a balance problem, if you have vertigo, if you are doing vestibular rehabilitation. Come back. And then you want to go down again, keep the eyes, keep the head still, nice and straight, and look down. So follow that eye, follow the target up, follow it down, come back to the middle, and the same at an angle. So you want to be doing something like that. This is the direction of gaze that you want to follow for your eyes. And this specific directions targets each individual eye muscle that is responsible for the eyes looking up and down, because they actually don't work. There's no single eyeball muscle that looks up or looks down. That's not the case for when you're looking left and right. So there's a separate eye muscle that goes left, and there's a separate one that goes right, and there's two in each eye, and they are totally horizontal. So your ability to maintain fusion on the horizontal plane is very, very strong. But your ability to maintain fusion, if you have a vertical dissociation, is very, very restricted, because there's not a single eye muscle that we can train. We need to train different eye muscles to get these two things level. And unfortunately, your eye's ability to fuse objects when they are separated vertically is severely restricted due to this fact. Now, one of the simple tests that you can do if you suspect you might have a low-grade double vision problem is simply looking at a target, making sure how clear it is, and then looking up and looking down. And if that image clarity differs, you might have a vertical dissociation or a vertical phoria or a low-grade double vision problem or a BVD type of issue. Now, as I said, this very often goes hand in hand with vestibular problems. And on the third exercise, we call sky nose. Now, what is sky nose? Again, we are targeting the upward muscles, sky, and now we are targeting the convergence. And this exercise now, we are targeting also the internal eye muscle. So this is why you go up. So you get those eye muscles that moves the eyes up because we're not doing enough of that. At the same time, we are now trying to converge. So sky nose is simply, literally, something like this. Sky, you look up and then look at your nose, and then sky, and look at your nose. Now, this is an exercise which tires out the eyes very quickly. And it brings on, if you have any convergence insufficiency, it brings that on very, very quickly. Or if you have any intraocular problems, if the focusing system inside the eye is not working properly, you have an imbalance between this up and then the convergence side. Because to converge, you not just need these muscles, you also need to be focusing a little bit as well. And this focusing actually activates the medial rectus to try and come in. This is why we do the sky nose. Now, exercise number 4, we are again targeting the focusing system. So again, we're targeting the focusing system. We are at the same time targeting the tracking system. So exercise number 4 is called burpee looking. Weird names, isn't it? But what is burpee looking? Well, we all know what burpees is. It's like you go down on your knees and then you jump up. It's a bit of a crazy thing. And I did it when I was younger, and I could still do it maybe now and then, but it's a crazy exercise. So burpee looking is similar, but you're not jumping up and down, you're looking far away. So you're jumping far away, finding a target. So now you're getting those eye muscles together, your two eyes, and you are focusing, you are activating the internal eye muscle, and then you look close. So mobile phone, book, whatever, and you look close, again, you are targeting the internal eye muscle to focus now. So you're going up again, and now you're looking down, you're converging, the two eyes are getting together, and at the same time, the focusing system needs to work as well, and the convergence system, and they need to all work very, very well together. And then you start reading, and you find a word that starts with an A, or that's an A in the word. So you've got to do tracking as well. And there's a lot of things happening underneath for you to enable to do this exercise. So it's, again, an exercise which very quickly shows if you have a problem. So you look up, that's your upward jumping on the burpee, and then you look close and you find an A. And then you look up again and you come back, find the same sentence, and then you are looking for a B. Very simple exercise, but extremely difficult to do. And again, you only need to do this 2 or 3 minutes, once or twice a day for it to be super duper effective. Now, exercise number 5 is my all-time favorite. It's called the Brock string. We have our own system in the practice, slightly different from the unique, the traditional method. But Brock string, this really takes it to the next level. And the reason why it's at number 5 is that all the other exercises leads to the Brock string. You will not be able to do the Brock string if you have not gone through exercise 1, 2, 3, 4, because they will tell you if you have a problem. So if your focusing system isn't working well, or if your eye muscles isn't working well, if your convergence is poor, you will not be able to do the Brock string. So with the Brock string, basically the most important thing we are wanting to do is actually teaching your brain what's normal double vision and what's abnormal double vision. And because many people, when they do, for example, convergence, and you can look at my YouTube video on how many people cannot actually converge, it's actually mind-blowing. They don't know when the eye is drifting. Because the moment the eye drifts, the brain has actually shut that eye off. It switches the eye off simply because the brain thinks it's not doing its work. Because the only thing in your world that is single is the thing that you are looking at now. So 99% of the world is double 100% of the time. Can you believe that? Sounds crazy. 99% of your world is double 100% of the time. It's only the object that you are looking at that is single. Everything around it is double, but you don't actually realize that because your brain is suppressing it. Now your brain gets confused. So when you are now looking at something and it starts to drift, the brain thinks, oh, I'm not doing my work. You know, it's double. Whoop, let's switch it off. So this is where the Brock string comes in. It's a very easy to do exercise, but it's extremely difficult to understand in the beginning because you want to see two ropes. That's your way to know. So the right eye is the left rope and the left eye is the right rope. And for more information on the Brock string, have a look at my separate video which I did on my YouTube channel. And the Brock string now, we use literally mind power. And if you can do the Brock string, you will also notice we have some, on our Facebook page, we have some binocular vision images. So if you can see the plane flying, or if you can see some of our 3D images, then you most likely have very good binocular vision. But if you cannot see them, you need to start off with these simple eye exercises which I've just described, and there's a complete video on them again on my YouTube channel in more detail. Thank you for watching.